Hello student. Today I am going to deliver a lecture on friction, which is the first topic of Unit 5 of Theory of Machine subject. During this lecture, I will cover following things. First, I would like to discuss what is friction and why it is acting. After that, I will discuss different types of frictions, and then I will discuss the law of friction, and then I will discuss the friction effect during motion of a body on a horizontal surface as well as friction effect during motion of a body on inclined surface. Now first, I would like to discuss what is friction. Friction is defined as a phenomena by which relative motion between two bodies in contact are resisted. Thus, friction may be considered as a phenomena by which relative motion between two bodies which are in contact are resisted, and the force applied by one body over another body to oppose the relative motion between them is known as friction force. When two bodies move with respect to each other, then each body apply a force on another body which opposes the relative motion between them, and this force is known as friction force. It arises only when one body moves with respect to other or tends to move or try to move. It is desirable as well as undesirable phenomena. It is desirable in case of power transmitted by belt and rope drive, in case of friction clutches and brakes, and even we need friction during our walking on any surface. It is desirable when power is transmitted from one place to another, one body to another body, because power or energy lost at joint between two links. Now I would like to discuss why friction force existed. As we know that all material surfaces, no matter how smooth they are, show many irregularities in the form of peaks and valleys, which are large when considered on a molecular scale. When these two solid surfaces slide over each other, a real contact between these surfaces occurs that will cause friction and consequently the production of heat. The friction also causes a lot of wear and tear of the surfaces of the moving parts. Now I would like to discuss different types of friction. On the basis of relative motion, friction is classified into following groups. First one, static friction. When two bodies in contact with each other and one body try to move or tends to move with respect to another, then friction between these two bodies is known as static friction. In case of static friction, there is no relative motion between two bodies, but body tends to move with respect to each other. Second one, dynamic or kinematic friction. This type of friction acts when two bodies have relative motion with respect to each other. Dynamic or kinetic friction further classified into following. First, sliding friction. When one body slides with respect to other body which are in contact with it, then friction between these two bodies is known as sliding friction. When one body rolls with respect to another body which is in contact with it, then friction between these two bodies is known as rolling friction. See, pivot friction, when two bodies which have relative motion with respect to each other are connected by pin joint, then in this case one body revolves about another body about this pin, then friction between these two links or body is known as pivot friction. Friction can also be classified on the basis of condition of surfaces, and on the basis of condition of surfaces, friction is classified into following groups. First one, dry friction. This type of friction experienced between two dry and unlubricated surfaces in contact and moves or tends to move with respect to each other is known as dry friction. Second one, breezy friction or boundary friction or non-viscous friction. It is the friction experienced between two rubbing surfaces when the surfaces have a skin thin layer of lubricant between them. And third one, film friction or viscous friction, when two contacting surfaces are completely separated by a thin layer of lubricant and the friction occurs only due to resistance of the motion of lubricant layers. Friction is known as film friction. Now I would like to discuss laws of static friction. In case of static friction, there is no relative motion takes place between two bodies which are in contact with each other, and one body tends to move with respect to another body. In this case, the force of friction always acts in a direction opposite to that in which the body tends to move. The magnitude of the force of friction is exactly equal to the force which tends the body to move. Thus, in this case, friction force is always equal to the applied force, and it changes as the applied force changes. The magnitude of the limiting friction bears a constant ratio to the normal reaction between the two surfaces. Mathematically, F upon Rn equal to constant. The force of friction is independent of the area of contact between the two surfaces. Fifth, the force of friction depends upon the surface condition of the contacting surfaces. Now, law of kinetic or dynamic friction. The force of friction always acts in direction opposite to that in which the body is moving. The magnitude of the kinetic friction bears a constant ratio to the normal reaction between the two surfaces, but this ratio is slightly less than that in case of limiting friction. For moderate speed, the force of friction remains constant, but it decreases slightly with the increase of speed. Now, the law of solid friction. Friction existing between two solid bodies if they move or tends to move with respect to each other. The first one, the force of friction is always proportional to the normal load between the surfaces. The force of friction is independent of the area of the contact surfaces for a given normal load. The force of friction depends upon the material of which the contact surfaces are made. The force of friction is independent of the velocity of sliding of one body relative to the other body. Basically, we neglect the effect of velocity on friction. Now, limiting force of friction or limiting friction. Now, consider diagram A. In this case, a body rests on another surfaces and weight of the body W acts in downward, and reaction of lower body on upper body is Rn, and both these are equal to each other. Now consider the figure B. If we apply a small force F towards right, then this force tends to move the body, upper body, with respect to lower body, and due to this a friction force opposes this motion and act in opposite direction as shown by Ft. Rn is the reaction of ground on this body or surfaces, flat surface on this body, and resultant of friction force and normal reaction is represented by R, which makes angle theta with the normal to the contacting surface. Now, if we increases the applied force, a condition arrives when this body is just about to move towards right, and this condition is known as limiting conditions, and in this case friction force Ft is equal to applied force F, and resultant of this friction force and normal reaction Rn is represented by R, and this resultant reaction R makes angle phi with the common normal, and in this condition the friction force acting on this body which resists the relative motion is known as limiting force of friction. If we increase the value of applied force, then body will move towards right. Thus, limiting force of friction or limiting friction. The maximum value of frictional force which comes into play or existed when a body just begins to slide over another body is known as limiting force of friction. When the applied force is less than the limiting force of friction, the body remains at rest, and the friction is known as static friction, which may have any value between 0 and limiting friction, and where its value is equal to applied force. Coefficient. Now I would like to discuss what is coefficient of friction. Coefficient friction, it is the ratio of limiting friction force and normal reaction. Mathematically, coefficient of friction mu equal to limiting friction force upon normal reaction between surfaces, and equal to F upon Rn. Angle of friction, friction angle. It is the angle made by resultant of limiting friction force and normal reaction made with the normal reaction, as shown by angle phi in the diagram, and mathematically phi equal to tan inverse mu. No movement is possible until the angle made by resultant with normal reaction becomes equal to limiting angle of friction. If angle between R and Rn is less than phi, then there would not be any relative motion between these two bodies. And if angle is equal to phi, then body is just about to slide with respect to this surface. Now friction cone, as shown in diagram, cone generated when resultant force vector R is rotated about normal to relative motion is known as friction cone. A cone, the significance of friction cone. A cone in which the resultant force exerted by one flat horizontal surface on another must be located when both surfaces are at rest, as determined by the coefficient of static friction. If the resultant force of friction force and normal reaction lies inside the friction cone, then there would not be any relative motion between these two bodies. Now I would like to discuss angle of repose. Consider a body rest on inclined surface which makes an angle alpha with the horizontal. Weight of the body is W and the common F is the applied force. F is the friction force. Rn is the normal reaction. R is the resultant of normal reaction and friction force. And direction of motion is towards downward and like towards left. And this motion is possible due to component of W parallel to the inclined surface, which is equal to W sine alpha. Now angle of repose. Angle of repose is the angle made by inclined plane with horizontal plane when body resting on inclined plane begins to move down due to its own weight. So thus angle of repose is the angle made by the inclined surface with the horizontal surface when body resting on inclined plane begins to move down due to its own weight or without the application of any external force. Now I would like to discuss the effect of motion of body on a rough horizontal plane. Consider a body A having relative motion with respect to another horizontal body B. Here a force P is applied at the angle theta with the horizontal plane. F is the friction force and Rn is the normal reaction between these two bodies and W is the weight of the body. Now when we resolve the component of forces along horizontal plane, we get Rn plus P sin theta equal to W or Rn equal to W minus P sin theta. When we resolve the component along the plane surface, then we get P cos theta equal to F friction force, and this should be equal to mu into Rn from the laws of friction. Now on solving equation first and second, we get applied force P equal to W sin phi upon cos theta minus phi, where phi is the friction angle. For P to be minimum, the denominator of this equation cos theta minus phi should be maximum, or the maximum value of cos theta minus phi is equal to 1, or we get theta minus phi equal to 0 degree or theta equal to phi. So thus for minimum effort is required if angle theta made by the force with horizontal surface is equal to friction angle. Now I would like to discuss motion of a body on a rough inclined plane. Consider when body moves upward. Let's assume W equal to weight of the body, alpha angle of inclination of the plane to the horizontal, phi limiting angle of friction for the contact surfaces, P effort applied in a given direction in order to cause the body to slide with uniform velocity parallel to the plane, considering friction. P0 effort required to move the body up the plane neglecting friction. Theta angle which the line of action of P makes with the weight of the body W. Mu coefficient of friction between the surfaces of the plane and the body, Rn normal reaction, and R resultant reaction. Now consider the movement of body. In upward direction on inclined surfaces. W is the weight of the body, Rn is the normal reaction, F is the friction force acting downward since direction of motion is in upward direction, P is the applied force which causes relative motion between these two bodies. Now resolving, now if we draw the forces, here R is the resultant of friction force and normal reaction. This is represented by this R. P is the applied forces and W is the body. W is the weight of the body. Now body is in equilibrium under the action of three forces: applied force P, reaction force R, which is resultant of normal reaction and friction force, and weight of the body W. Now by applying the sine rule, we get the equations to determine the applied force P which is required to move the body in upward direction. P equal to W sin alpha plus phi upon sin theta minus alpha plus phi. Now in case of motion of body on a rough inclined face when body moves in downward direction. Here direction of motion is downward, thus friction force will act in upward direction. And now body is in equilibrium under the action of three forces: applied force P, resultant of friction and normal reaction R, and weight of the W. And now applying the sine rule, we get the applied force P equal to W sin alpha minus phi upon sin theta minus alpha minus phi. If we neglect the effect of friction, then we should replace phi by 0 in this equation to determine the force required to move the body on inclined plane in downward direction if there is no friction act between these two bodies.